My name is John Morello. I'm here to do a show for you. I don't preach, I don't teach, and I don't lecture. I'm just going to tell you a simple story through characters, so I hope you can kind of change gears. It's different than a lot of assemblies that you might have had. I know different than the ones that I had when I was in school. When I was 11, I woke up with everybody in my house screaming and crying. When I was 13, I unfortunately got high for the first time. When I was 16, my life felt really out of control. I didn't feel like I was as smart or as wealthy as some of the other kids at school. It's probably because I wasn't as smart or as wealthy as some of the other kids at school. I remember this free lunch card that they gave me, and it was big neon pink free lunch card. When I reached into my pocket, and I remember my dad gave me food stamps because I started feeling something that would later be labeled a major depressive disorder, but I didn't know that at the time, that a lot of people were going through the same thing. But when you're young, sometimes you think that you're, and even when you're old too, you think that you're the only one going through something.
So I've seen the show Dirt 4 different times at LMTI's leadership conference every summer, and every single time I see it, I take something new away from it. It's so impactful and deep and just tackles so many different issues that every single time I see it, I'm finding something new that resonates with me.
And my friend Jason walked over, because Jason was outside the school at that moment too. Because Jason's that kid at school, you're never quite sure what class he's supposed to be in. My report is on what I have in this little plastic bag. No, it's not weed, it's just dirt. Like all weed is a plant, right? 3 times when I'm happy. 1 is when I'm hanging out with my girlfriend Sarah. She's probably like the most important person in my life. Number 2 is if I'm taking Percocets. You asked. No, you just told us that most crime has alcohol involved. Why is it legal? Why is it advertised on TV?
That was an amazing show. What depth, what character, what issues were brought up.
I'm picking up his stuff for him. He thinks I'm with all these kids laughing at him. There's like 10 kids standing around with their phones out, like videoing this kid crying. Since when did someone's sexual orientation become an insult? Huh? Since when did someone's identity, you know who they are, become something that you would accuse them of being as if it was a bad thing? Go tell them to leave that girl alone. No. If I go over there and say anything to them tomorrow, next week, next month, I'm going to be the one they're all picking on. I didn't say you were bullying her. I'm just saying you make her feel like crap every day. Does it make you feel good? To make somebody else feel bad, does that make you feel good? I forgot what that was like, to have somebody just look at you and laugh.
It was one of the most remarkable one-man shows of its kind that I've ever seen. It touched so many places in our hearts and our minds, and I would just recommend that everyone should see it, because it's really unique, very special, and very moving.
And this kid from school, he starts talking to me, and I didn't want to talk to him because I've heard the way he talks about girls when he doesn't think that there's girls around. I don't need to have 50 friends. I don't need someone to sit there and lie to me and tell me it's going to get better. I just need someone who can sit there and see the same chaos that I can see every day, so I know that I'm not crazy. And you could do something really amazing with the power that you have in this school. And then what do you do with your power?
I am very, very happy that he came. I got to see him twice today. He was amazing. It was probably the best school meeting / assembly that I've ever been to. It was very funny, but it was also really kind of sad at moments. And it had a very strong, powerful message, and I'm really happy to sign my book.
No way! He's like, eh! So I'm like, whoa! The fighter pilots I was telling you about, the African-American guy, they were all from down south. They were all from Alabama, Georgia. They were the best fighter pilots in the world. Separate drinking fountains, separate restaurants. He couldn't even vote. Guy risked his life for this country just like me, and that's how he gets treated. You know, and you wonder why some people feel like an alien in their own country. You wonder why some people feel like they've been kept out. You wonder why some people feel like they have to raise their hand and say, hey, my life matters too. I don't want to be me. I don't know who that is. I've tried several versions of that person that is supposed to be me, and none of them are really working out too well. So when I was in the war, I was miserable. They didn't call it depression in those days, you know, but
This is my second time. I saw it 7 years ago when he was here, and I really wanted to come again because it's really, really amazing. And I really like the fact that he doesn't preach.
he says, Pop, are you mad at me? No, why would I be mad? He says, are you embarrassed? Why would I be embarrassed? If you had cancer, would I be mad at you? If you had diabetes, would I be embarrassed? No, they'd probably have a fundraiser for you. Everyone would say, look how brave he is. They would visit you.
We've had John Morello's I Am Dirt show at our public schools, Quincy Public Schools, for about the past 9 years now. I saw John in a newspaper article, and it was about a year after our son, Bo, passed away due to his own actions, and I had a good feeling about John in the show, and we chose him to perform. I knew he would be good for the students and staff and the parents and our city in general, but mostly I knew that our son Bo would have thought he was really cool, and he was the one for him. I wish my son could have met John. They would have been great friends. And it's all about, after a tragedy, you know, trying to help the other parents and the other kids, so maybe one life could be saved, and I'm positive that more than one life has been saved. We've had feedback from parents and students, from staff. I even had a parent come up to me on the street one day and say, you know, he really showed me that I need to change the way I parent. There's so much that I didn't know, so just blessed to have John in our lives.
Every kid deserves a second chance. But what you don't know is that not every kid gets a second chance. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.